Hey there, and good morning. Today we are going to be talking about creating custom mockups for your MyDesigns account. Okay, when you upload items, they always have um, generic mockups that you can use. Let's see here, let me upload a listing so we can take a look at this quick. I'm just going to grab anything and throw it in here. Let's throw this guy in, upload, so I can show you the standard mockups, and then we'll go from there and show you how to create your own custom mockups if you want it. I apologize, I should have done this earlier. So anyway, here's our design, and we can go to image mockups, and MyDesigns has a bunch of standard mockups that you can use, but just in case they don't have what you're looking for, or you don't care for the ones they have, you can create your own custom mockups, which I create a lot of custom mockups because I have a lot of images, or I sell a lot of files that they don't have mockups for, like laser cut designs and things like that. So I'm just going to show you real quick how you can, the different ways that you can create a custom mockup for this. In fact, let me do something here real quick just so that we can see this accurately. And I am going to upload one more file to this so you can see different different mockups for different file types. All right, like this is just going to be our basic PNG for sublimation, and then I'm going to upload one more file that is a SVG that I use for like laser engraving and things of that nature. So let me just grab one over here quick that I have done, and we will upload that as well. And I am just going to grab this, something simple. Let's just grab this little owl here, and we're going to upload that. And while that's uploading, I'm going to show you some of the different ways you can get custom mockups. All right, you have a couple choices. You can purchase Photoshop mockups for different products that you may be selling. Say you're doing tumbler wraps, you can certainly buy a tumbler wrap mockup if you don't like the ones that MyDesigns has. I personally use the ones that they provide for things like that, but let's say you want, let's say you do laser engraved SVG designs, and you might want them on a, like wooden cutting board, PSD mockup. Search for that. And you can see here that I have a lot of wooden cutting boards that you could purchase the design, purchase the mock-up, and use that in MyDesigns. Creative Fabrica has a lot of PSD mock-ups that you can search for and find one that you might want for any number of things. Like here's a kitchen cutting board. I do sublimation designs for glass cutting boards, and even here is a wooden one that you could look at. Now you have to look at these and make sure you're getting what you want. You are looking for PSD mockups that have smart objects. This one is just a JPEG. It can be modified and turned into a Photoshop Smart Object, but if you're trying to do it the easy way, you want to look for mockups that already are PSD Smart Objects. All right, so here we have this little owl here, okay, and he is a design that I would mock up in different ways. I would absolutely put him on a shirt because people can use this for cutting HTV, heat transfer vinyl. They can use it for things like that. You can use it for print. It's a really versatile file, so I would want to show it on a shirt. I may want to show it on a greeting card. You know, there's people who make paper crafts. It would be great on a, you know, it could be used as a digital stamp on a greeting card like this. But like I said, I do a lot of laser, so I might want to show that on my wooden notepad holders that I create. So this is not a mock-up that is available in MyDesigns. So this was one I had to create on my own. And I'm going to show you how you can do that. All right. So first step is obviously deciding what it is you want to create a mock-up of. Right. In this instance, we are going to do a glass cutting board. All right. So I'm going to go to Photoshop, and here is a basic mock-up I did as well. This is just so people can see what the design looks like in and of itself. And that's just a real basic one. I'll show you how to do that as well. But the first thing I'm going to do is open this image that I just, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Which one? It's not that one. Here we go. This is just your standard JPEG or PNG file. All right. There is no smart object you see over here. It's a single layer. I actually put this together in Canva. I just looked for a background that I liked and then a cutting board and downloaded it. So it's just a flat image. But now I want to turn this into a smart object mock-up. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is we will go over here to the left-hand panel with the rectangle tool. I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to leave my fill at white and no stroke. And what I'm going to do is I am going to select, I'm going to draw this rectangle right over this cutting board. Okay. And you see now it turned it white right there. Now the very, very next step is to convert this. You want to right click on this rectangle layer and convert it to a smart object. All right. Next, we're going to double click it here quickly and change the name to MD-image-. That is the name your smart object layer has to have in MyDesigns. All right. Now we have that done. We're going to select that layer, and right above it, we are going to change this drop down to multiply. All right. And basically your image is done. It's ready to go. I'm going to show you now. If I double click on this smart object, it's going to open this window, a new tab with the rectangle area in it. And all you would do now is drag your cutting board design over to it, and you can size it to fit. And then you just Save it, Control S, and go back, and there is your cutting board mock-up. All right, it put that image right in there on top of your cutting board, and you are good to go. So from here, you would just get rid of that, save it again, so you're back to a blank cutting board. And now you would go to File, save a copy, and in MyDesigns Mockups, you would save this as a PSD file, and we're going to name this Cutting Board 3 PSD, maximize compatibility, and that's done. Now what we'll do is go to MyDesigns, and over here on the left you have a space that says Mockups. You're going to click that, click Upload Mockup, and we want to find our mockup we just created. Where is it? Cutting board 3, right here. I'm going to upload that. Okay, it's uploaded. You're going to select the category you want it in. I'm going to put it in Other, and I'm going to call it Cutting Board 3, and click Upload again. And now it is going to show up here in your custom mockups, and right there it is. Okay, so now when you go to your listings, let's select this little cow here, image mockups, and instead of public, we're going to go to custom, other, and here's our new cutting board that we just uploaded, our new cutting board mockup, and we're going to click generate preview, and there it is. There is our cow design on a glass cutting board. Okay, so that's how you make a mockup. But let's say you want to just do something simple like this. I'll show you what that looks like in my Etsy shop. See, I have it done like this so that it just shows the design and tells people what it is. It's a commercial use SVG file. And then I have my other mockups there as well. This one is engraved on a slab of wood. This one is engraved on a trinket dish, printed on a tote bag, printed on a t-shirt or sweatshirt. And then we have our basic file that just shows them the design in and of itself. So if you want to create something like that, that's super easy too. You just would go to your Photoshop, create a new file, whatever size you want. I typically use 3000 by 2250. That is the dimensions of Etsy listings, the preferred dimensions of an Etsy listing. So we're going to hit create. Now, if you have a background that you like to use, I have one that I pretty much use all the time to keep things fairly uniform. Let me find it in here. Like that, and then I will just stretch it out to get where I want it. Okay. And there it is. Now you can add text if you want, telling people what this is. Again, it is we are making a sorry about that. My little mouse is getting all kinds of carried away this morning. Commercial use PNG file. If you're going to use, okay, and you can put that wherever you want it. So I'm going to slide it down here to the bottom and center it, and I want to bring in logo so that it is more like a watermark, I guess. Let's find the one I want. There we go. Bring that in. I'm going to make it smaller. Move it down here. And I am going to reduce the opacity on that quite a bit so it's there, but it's not overpowering the image itself. All right, so now I have everything I want to use in here. A little smaller. Okay. Now again, we'll do the same thing. We'll come over here, select our rectangle tool, and I want this to pretty much take up as much of this space as I can so they get a good view of the file. So I'm making my rectangle about like that, okay? Once I do that, I'm going to select that rectangle, right click, convert to smart object, double click, MD, image, dash, and now again I'm going to select that. I'm going to select the style as multiply, and that is done. Let's double click here on the empty image. Let's bring in a design. Let's do this one. Control S to save it. Oh, yes, place. And then we'll go over here, and there is our image. You can see that right there. Now, the only thing I want to point out is now you can see this wood grain behind this image, and that's because we set the blend on this to multiply. All right, if you don't want to do it that way, then what we will do is, let's get rid of this, let's get rid of that, let's delete this layer here and create a new one. You would select your rectangle type, but this time you want your fill to be empty. You don't want any fill. Then you can come in here, just make your rectangle or square, and you see now there is no color there. We're going to convert it to smart object. We're going to rename it MD-image-. And now, because we had no fill, we don't have to adjust anything else. We just click on, double click on that to create our layer. Drop that in, save. And now you see there is no opacity to this layer. You can't see. This is exactly how you would want this one to look. All right. So keep that in mind. If you don't want your mock-up layer to blend in with your background, make sure you have your fill set to off when you create your smart object layer, your shape. Okay. So now what you would do again is you would just save that. You would upload it to MyDesigns, and let's see here, let's go to image mockups, and again we'll go to custom. This time I have these saved in digital, and you can see here, here's my sublimation mockup, commercial use PNG image, and that is what it looks like. Actually, we're going to use the transparent background. Okay, and there is our cow, and that's what that image would look like, just so you can show people what the file is. All right, so now if you want to create a mock-up on your own instead of buying one from any of these options, I would go to as I did for that cutting board mock-up, right? Let's let Canva load. And I'm going to go right here. I'm going to open this back up because this is the size I wanted. So what I'm going to do here is I am just going to get rid of this. I'm going to go here to Elements and wood slab. Let's see what we get in here. Images. Out. Wooden cutting board. Okay, here we go. Here's a little round one right here, and this would be good for laser engraving because you can show people what an image would look like laser engraved on this cutting board right here. So I would get this set up the way I wanted it, and it looks good to me. It's basic, so I would save this. Come on, people. What is taking so long? Download. PNG. Come on. Keep saying failed. Why? Download. How about if we try it as a JPEG? Because for our purposes, it doesn't really matter too much. Oh, I see. Okay. I have to add something else to this. It won't let me download it on its own. So how about if we grab some of these seasonings and spices and just add that there. And let's see what else it recommends in here. Let's grab these, remove the background from this. Put some little onions there. Let's put those down there. Edit. Add some shadows to them. So they really look like they're laying on the table. Alrighty, I think that looks pretty good. Okay, now we can download it. And we will download and we are going to put this in our MyDesigns mockups, and we're going to call this wood cutting board. All right, now that is just PNG, so again we're going to come back over here to Photoshop, and we are going to open that PNG that we just downloaded with the wooden cutting board. Let's find it right here. Okay, I'm going to turn this section right here in the center into a mock-up for our laser engraving mock-up. So we're going to go over here to our tool. We are going to change that to an ellipse, and for this we want our stroke off, and I'm going to hold in shift so that I get a complete circle, I'm going to make it about that big. I'm going to convert that to a smart object right away. I'm going to go over here, and I am going to drag in one of my round designs. Okay, and we're going to hit save. We're going to go back over here. Now you see it's wonky, but now that we have it in as a smart object, now we can go in here and move things around where we want it. We can even resize it just a little. Let's move it right here. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now that we have this in place, that doesn't look like an engraving. That just looks like an image sitting on top of our cutting board. But you can add effects now to your smart object layer. And I'm going to go up here to my library because I already have a style that I have created. Right here, it's my engrave. And I'm going to put that on this layer. And now you can see, now it looks like that has been engraved onto the cutting board. Okay, let's try this one. I have some different ones. We'll see which one looks the best. Let's go. Let's try this one. Nope. And like I said, you will. No. Nope. I think we're gonna just use. I'm gonna use this one. But we can edit that now. We can double click here and bring up our layer panel, our styles, and we can adjust things in here if it's not looking the way we wanted it to. Our bevel and emboss, we can make that bigger or smaller. Depending on what you want this to look like. Okay, and that looks pretty good. Alrighty. So now whenever we put a new design in here, okay, so let's look at that. Let's go over here and get rid of this guy. And let's drop in something new. Let's go back, and now it automatically applies that style. But now I notice because of the different shape, it's a little bigger. And we don't want that. We don't want this to expand outside of that circular area in here. See that border? We want to keep everything inside there. So now we can get rid of this. Let's save. This is ready. Save a copy. And we can save this as a PSD. We're going to save that as wood cutting board copy because I'm probably not going to use this one. I show you how you can make your own. We're going to Mockups, upload Mockup. We're going to find that cutting board that we just made right here, Photoshop, and that will upload. Okay, so we're going to call this wood cutting board 2. We don't want that to go to clothing. Other, and upload mockup. Go to other, and it will pop up here pretty quickly. There it is. So let's go try it out. I'm going to use our SVG file for this one. Public, custom, other. Pop that in and generate a preview and see how it looks. I'm not a fan of working in circular because see, there it is, it's a little bigger. They take some more messing around with to get them right, but I just wanted to show you that it is possible to create your own. Yeah, I'm not really happy with that at all. So I won't be using that. I'll have to go back and tinker with it a little more. In fact, I'll tell you right now what I'm going to do. Let's get rid of that layer. We are not going to do a round. We're going to go back to our rectangle tool, and we are just going to put a square in here that a rectangle that fits within the boundaries, just like that. Convert to Smart Object. Let's go here. Let's drag something in so we have something to see when we are working. That's the only reason I'm doing this here. Save. Oops, get rid of that one. Let's go back over here. All right, now you see where he is. No, we don't want to move that. We want to move that. We want to... Yep, that looks pretty good there. And again, now we can add our... All right. Change the name of this MD image dash. Now that looks much better. We're going to delete this. Control save. Now this is ready to save once again. And that's how I would do these. I would not bother with trying to make a circle. I would simply make a square or rectangle within the bounds of this groove so that no matter what, our image is going to fit in there. So let's go over here and re-upload it. I apologize, this is taking a little longer. This video is a little longer than I had intended it to be. Let's delete our old one, but I also want to make sure that you understand the different ways that you can do this. So now we're going to go back down here, grab this one, upload it. Okay, let's name this wood cutting board 3, whatever, and put it in other. And it will show up here just like the rest. There it is. So let's go back here to listings. Let's grab our owl again. Image mockups, custom, other. Let's grab the wood, cutting board, and preview and see what it looks like. And there you go. That looks great. That looks awesome. You have your engraved owl right there in the middle of your little round cutting board, and that looks fantastic. So we have created our basic PSDs, And okay, the only other thing I wanted to show you is that if you choose to purchase a PSD mock-up from another company, it's really simple. All you do, here we go, let me drag this in. This is one I grabbed off of Creative Fabrica. And right here is the smart object already made. Okay, so let's just have a look at that. Let's click on here. And we want to turn off this green. I don't want my cutting board to be green. All right. Let's let it do its thing. It's kind of loading. All right. And we want to turn off this placeholder. Let me drag in one of my cutting board designs. Okay, and let's just make sure we drag it out to fit there. Control S. Just making sure everything is working as it should. All right, there's our cutting board mock-up. That looks fantastic. Okay, so let's get rid of that. I would definitely get rid of this one and leave this green layer turned off. Okay, just leave the eye off. Save it. Go back over here. Now, honestly, the only thing you have to do over here is where it says place your design here. You just want to double click on that real quick and rename that to image, MD-image-. That's it. Now you can file, save a copy. Cutting board mockup 2. I'm just going to overwrite what I already had. And now you upload it. So if you buy a pre-purchased PSD mockup, all you really need to do is change the name of the smart object layer from what it is to MD-image-. Okay, that's it. You just put it up in Photoshop, edit that name there, save it, and upload it. I did a little bit more, but that was just because I wanted to get rid of that green color. But, you know, that's completely... Mockup must be smaller than 3000 by 3000. Okay, well, how about that? So, this is something you will want to keep in mind. Alright, so this one is going to take a little more work because I'm going to have to delete that layer. And we are going to, what are we doing here? Okay, it's just those. Alrighty, I see what we have here. So we are going to select both of these, image size. Let's make this 3000 by 2000. Okay, let's go here. Now that didn't work the way I intended it to work, because now we do have to create our rectangle for this. And for this one, I am going to leave the fill at white because it doesn't really matter. But we're going to make our okay. All right. And we are going to convert to smart object right away. And let's drag over a image. Control save. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Well, we can give it, okay, let's do this. Let's go in here and bevel and emboss. Let's not make this so big. Let's make it soft. Let's make it smooth. There we go. That one looks pretty good. And let's take the size down a little bit. And again, you wouldn't have to do this. I'm only doing it because I started to show you this mock-up, and now I want to make sure I finish. Okay, that looks pretty good there. And we can move it over. Actually, we can make this a little bigger now. Okay, there. That looks pretty good. So what we're going to do is we're going to rename this MD image dash. Okay, that looks like a nice cutting board. We're going to go back over here and we're going to get rid of this because we don't want that in our mock-up. Okay, so this is what it looks like blank. And we're going to save this, save a copy. Cutting board mockup 2. Now, for the most part, when you download a mockup from a seller or something, you should be able to just change the name of the smart object layer and upload it. Right? This one just happened to be too big, so I had to do some editing, and usually when you do that, I muffed up and deleted my smart layer. Okay, so let's just try this again. Let's upload this again. Okay. Cutting board. Upload. And it's going to go in other, I hope. I hope I picked other. Nope, I goofed up. Alright, that's okay. We're just going to move this to other. Save changes. So now let's go to our listings. Let's grab our cow. Image mockups. Custom. Other. And grab this cutting board. Generate preview. And there is our cow on our cutting board. Okay, so that is how you make custom mockups. You can do them several different ways. You can buy pre-made mockups and just edit the name of the smart object to coincide with what MyDesigns wants, or you can build your own from scratch using different images that you've downloaded or created, or photos you've taken of a blank product or whatever. But that's how you do it. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask. If you would like to get daily prompts to help you grow your digital file business on Etsy, we have a wonderful community called the Prompts and Profits Design Club. I give you prompts every day for different images of amazing things that you can put on tumblers, on t-shirts, just all types of digital file designs. And you also have access to a lot of training videos that are not on my public YouTube channel. So if that sounds like something you might be interested in, check out the link below, and we would love to have you join us. So until next time, have a great day, and I hope you guys found this helpful.